Hello and welcome back to Dyson Sphere program. My name is Pooks the robot in this case. Hello. And today we will continue progress on our Super Smelter. That's right. Now, as we were discussing last night, we were going to add some more silicon into the mix because the local supplies here are starting to get a little bit thin on the ground. We're supplementing them in our electronics factory, but that's probably not going to be enough. And yeah, I mean, we could also just kind of prop up the local thing. I think I've got everything mined out now, though. I think that last vein was basically all the silicon is being mined in one set way, one shape or form. Up the top here, actually. Yeah, so we'll fix this bit. Otherwise, it's all got mines around it, I think. Yep. So we'll fix that to start off with. Just get it done, but otherwise, yeah, we'll have mined this area out, or mining as much as we possibly can. Which is great because then this can also expand out to be an even bigger electronics factory. We will just you're gonna have silicon and supply it for your few drones. And do it at 100%, please. There we go. All right. But the overall plan here is to really ramp up things in our main smelting world that we're producing at the moment. Not really do too much smelting locally. We're just propping things up. We might as well exhaust the local resources. We've built a few things, so it's worth just continuing it until it actually just needs to all be dismantled, and we just import stuff instead. All right. So that should start supplying things. I don't know why it's not got anything in demand though. Surely a smelter somewhere is demanding silicon. Maybe it's not. Well, in that case, you can demand it. Storage, local demand. And we can put some. Yep, that's finally given up the ghost as well. We'll just deconstruct those. You know what? You can remote demand as well. Not going to give it any logistics vessels. That's definitely not what I want that to be doing. I'll have to muck around with warpers, everything on this planet. And we'll output a little bit here. There we go. Now we'll output down to here to just supplement what's going on. We'll just make sure that belt is fully upgraded so it can just push it all through. Actually, that's not quite how I want it to run. I want it to run so that the miner takes preference. And we'll just upgrade that too. Cool. So that way, it's going to continue to produce rather than use the stuff from here. But that'll work quite well, I think. Cool. Alright, so that's supplementing what we need to do. We've got still demand for 84 of these guys, so we'll go take care of that soonish. This is outputting heaps of silicon now. Oh wait, hang on. Does this take logistics vessels? Wait, really? Ah! Man, these machines are awesome. That is cool. I did not know they did that. So you don't even need to connect these bad boys up to a local logistics station because they are their own logistics station. That is actually awesome. Well, go as fast as you want, buddy. Because we'll take that any day of the week. Man, I'm learning new things. I'm happy about the things I'm learning. It is a good day. It is a brilliant day. Is there anything slowing this down? You're not working. Why aren't you working? Why aren't you working hard, man? Why aren't you working hard? The reason you're not working is you're not getting enough copper. Alright. Hang on. You have copper. Hang on. Hold up. Hold up. We should be in good copper circumstances here, and we're not. I'm thinking I will supplement this here as well. Right, so what do we want? What do we want? We want one of these. Like so. Output copper here, and then keep it going. Build it up a level. Put this in there. Make sure it's got power. And then this copper is going to kind of come across here. I'm going to put it in here. And then we're just going to remove that belt there. Split it so we do a kind of reverse situation here. Just do up one. And that should give us all the copper we need to keep those things online. Yeah, that's better. We no longer have a copper problem. I think we might have a silicon problem instead, but that's alright. Okay, so that'll help these guys all work. They'll be working it, and yeah, we're starting to. Oh no, it's 1,000 at this point that it will transport out. So I was going to say that we're starting to get some surplus there, but we're really not. Put those in. Okay, but good things are happening. I think we've shored up this production planet as much as we want to for this stream. We're going to head to Earth next. Wherever Earth is in the sky, there it is. Yeah. There we go. And we'll just go down, and we're going to go to the mall. Going to go to the mall to pick up some of these for a start. Now I know they're not planar smelters, we do have the capability to build them, and I'm thinking at some point we will upgrade to build them. Oh, bless me, Jesus. Actually, I just realized what I said, bless me, Jesus. Alright, anyway, scary if I get a response at that point. But yeah, so what we're thinking here. What are we thinking? I know that I'm going to have a power problem. I want to finish off some of that power problem. I only need 84, so if we get 100 of these, that'll fix that. I'll have enough of them. But I'm also thinking that the whole planet, once the planet's up and running, really the only feasible power is going to be antimatter. So we might set up the stations for antimatter or artificial suns to be working. Oh, hey! Hey! We have full storage on this. That's nice. That's what we want to see. Therefore, we should be starting to see some storage of antimatter. Oh! Hang on. Hold up. What's going on here? What are you missing? We're full on on antimatter? Really? Oh, wow. That happened quickly. Right. We should be doing stuff with that as well. We're even starting to fill up on critical photons. Did not see that coming. Well, that means we could... Yeah, let's set up antimatter power at our Forge world. I was thinking of just doing some power transfer, but this will work better. So let's say 40 antimatter stations. I really don't know how much is going to be needed, but I feel like 40 is a good number, and we can always pick up more. And yeah, if we're using more than 40, I'll be surprised. Because they output an awful lot of power, like 72 megawatts each. So 10 of it's 720. Yeah, we should be good. Let's grab some towers. Do we have an input problem here? It's awfully looking like we have an input problem here. Yeah, we are. We're gonna have one soon, if we don't already. What's this being used for? Oh, belt production as well. Yep, we'll need to do some stuff about that. Maybe not now, but certainly in the future. So I'm just gonna delete that. Grab some more belts while we're here. Didn't come close to running out last time, so maybe just a few. How are we doing on sorters? Yeah, sorters are definitely gonna get smashed, so we'll grab a whole chunk of those again. Advanced miners were good. Towers we're probably going to be good on. I don't feel like we're actually set with what we've got here. We might just go to logistics towers as well. Just considering that I'm probably going to be using a few of them. So yeah, we'll stock up on drones. See? What are you missing? What do you need? Iron. Yeah, see, that's our problem here. That's gonna eventually really gunk up this whole situation. Do you go Interstellar? No, you don't. You do. You're planning for iron. Just got this. Oh, maybe this is me thinking ahead, thinking, hey, I'm gonna need to import stuff at some point. Well, the time has come, and I've set it up beautifully. That's just awesome sauce, right? That's what we built in the last episode. Iron and magnets, and now we've just got it ready to come in. Ha! Ha! Makes me happy. Makes me happy. Alright. So, I know that it's not proliferated on input here. So I might just tell you to bring in iron like so. We're just going to get rid of these guys. They don't need to be there. This is all our early game sort of setup. Take it up a level, run it across this way maybe. To here, then under. stay on over, and then down. So that way, when it's coming in, it's going to be proliferated. Oh wait, that isn't up. It's floating. Yeah, okay, so therefore cut it here. And needs to be still up, but that'll work. Cool. Alright, that'll help with that particular problem. And the other thing that is in demand is our magnets, but we're still pretty good on that. I mean, we've imported it, but eventually we'll just have basically an output. We'll set it up now. We'll set it up now so that it is not an issue. We will have a non-issue, so basically that'll happen there. These will continue on their merry way until they eventually run out, and they'll be replaced by the importing function for all our magnet needs. I just upgrade you to I1. Let's do it by 2. There we go. Full belts output. And that should solve my iron bar problem quite nicely. I know we're building a smelter, but we do have to solve these problems as we come to them, otherwise they become big problems later on and we can't progress with the stuff that we want to do. Okay. So that should mean that we get these drones under construction a little bit faster. We might even just bump that up to the next level of thing. So I'll be wanting drones more and more, and let's make a heap of them. Now that also means I'll need to bump that one up, so that's building lots of them too. Yeah, we're getting to a chip supply problem still. We need more computer chips. Alright, we're going to solve that with silicon supply, and then we might even make our computer chip factories even bigger. We need to solve our supply issues first. Okay, so we've got stuff happening. And I think this is the point where we can just go and head to Smelter. Specifically to the smelter, and go solve some issues there. Or go build some stuff there, plus solve some issues. And I think I've got everything I need. Yep. Alright. So we're going to set up antimatter power at Smelter, because ultimately, long term, that's what it's going to need. And we're also going to expand out the factory so it's producing a few more things. Or the smelter so it's producing a few more things. So those few things, we're actually coming up on it quite quickly. I need to pay attention to my navigation. Those things will be copper, titanium, silicon, and we might also make some glass as well. And I think diamonds was the last thing as well, because this actually has a lot of kimberlite ore, I think it's called, which is really useful. And it's a special recipe that will produce the diamonds. Yeah, it's an advanced diamond making recipe using that kimberlite ore. So we don't need to use up so much coal doing it. All right, but our antimatter power is going to be up here at the top, and I'm going to give this a second job. It's our warper station, where we import warpers. but it's also going to be our import of antimatter fuel rods. Now I'm just going to set it to a hard limit of 1,000. It's going to locally supply, but remote demand this. Off it goes to go collect one. Like 1,000 antimatter rods, that's a lot as well, right? That is a serious amount of power that we're talking here. So, may not seem like all that much for power, maybe. Or maybe it does. Maybe people going like, oh dude, you're so keen. The other thing I might do is we'll just tone down the minimum load of these vessels and just say, you know, when you're topping up, you can just go at the 10%, so that's 100 when you're topping things up, rather than grabbing 1,000 each time that it does it. Alright, so we're then going to want to... Oh, really? That counts as Dyson Sphere sort of stuff. Okay, cool. We're going to want to plus this out so we get some spacing right. There we are. Let's see how this goes. So... put you in like so. Oh, the power. Alright, so the capacity is 1.14 gigawatts. I wonder if there's a way that I can see the potential demand or not. I'm not sure. If anyone knows, could be in the stats sort of thing. The power for the local planet. Generation pattern. I'd like to know potential demand. You get that in satisfactory and it would be really cool. Devs, if you're listening, potential demand would be a really sort of thing. If everything turns on, I want to know how much power it'll need, because it could get to the point where everything does turn on. Alright, so let's see if we can then just... it's a Dyson Sphere program. I feel like it belongs in power, really. Not in the Dyson Sphere program. Is this going to work? I feel like it's going to be slightly off to the side and not work. Oh yeah, it'll work. Alright. So let's see if we can just daisy chain these, basically. I don't think that's going to work. Yeah. Let's just make it a long ring around. Not like we don't have the space. And then if I want to do another ring, I'll just pop it out the top and then go around like that. Plus it out so that we get the good spacing that it needs. Do that. When this is running, that it's not consuming it at a faster rate as well. That's my assumption here, otherwise this is terribly inefficient what I'm doing. Like horribly inefficient sort of thing. Do this until I run out. We have the last 6 more after this one. 3, 4, 5. Ah, one more. So close. Six. Cool. Alright, we got all these artificial suns nearly ringing around. Oh, the temptation to finish that. It is extreme. But we got bigger and better things to do. That has definitely solved our power problem. So what we're going to do now, I've learned a few things, right? So the first thing I've learned is that this is a little bit superfluous if my other logistics stations actually have logistics drones, then this is entirely unnecessary because they can just go directly to this thing. All it does is maybe pump up a little bit of reserve here. I'll leave it because I've done it, but in future I'm going to do different stuff. I think that's going to be the way that we deal with that. Alright, so the first thing is I'm going to go wander around and put these guys down on our veins. So we're just going to set down all of our necessary mines so that we are mining out the planet, and the transport is just going to be solely logistic stations for this. We're not going to build it out unless it's really close. Even then, I'm thinking we won't, just because I want everything to be to work on an importing sort of basis. You down. But we are going to have mines everywhere. Eventually these mines will disappear and the areas will be replaced with smelting stations. Because when I'm saying we're going to cover the planet, I mean we are going to cover this planet, people. Maybe not today. And I'm going to say do it as fast as possible, because I'm going to want your resources. I wonder if it makes it less efficient. Yeah, it seems to make it very much inefficient. You won't get it up to the possible. But that's good, we got plenty of power, people. We got artificial stars. Now I am gonna build out our power networks. Or should I? Should I be doing that? I mean, it's useful now, but I'm thinking if I end up plonking something here, I can rely on the power network that I kind of plonked down with the blueprint. So maybe not. Yep, there's a copper plant there for us. So what we're going to build as our first kind of smelters is we're going to do a copper and a silicon to shore up our production of those things. We're going to then move on to a couple of diamond ones, because I do have diamond supplies that I think, it's been in the back of my head that I think it's going to run out soonish, and I want to make sure that those are all shored up. I do have importing facilities already, I think. Not 100% sure, but I think so. That'll be a good move, I feel. And we can make use of those local kimberlite ores. I am going to put power to you because there's not anything that's really going to be built there. And you're going to get power just by default because I'm connecting up the two poles there. The polar regions, I should say. Ah, too close. I love that these have inbuilt logistics. It's just such a clever idea. I am going to do stuff with this coal as well. I'm thinking that this could be a proliferation sort of setup. And, oh yeah, that's one of the things I should build out actually. I'm loving these advanced mining machines. They are the best. Best thing since sliced bread. Originally when they came out, I was like, are they really all that good? You know, faster mining, okay, that's yay. But just the quality of life improvement for a start, to just put them down and not have to worry, really. And the 300%, so the variable mining speeds, that's kind of cool. Then the inbuilt logistics is just, it's just one thing on top of another, right? That just makes them cooler and cooler. And well worth the investment. So if you're playing through this game, if you're thinking, oh, do I really need them? Yeah, you do. If you're getting serious about things, then you are totes gonna need them. Now we've got to be careful here. We've got to just kind of fly with other object, but we want. Maybe it is covered by that other vein. Just do it there. Yep. Power. Also thinking this is kind of close as well, so we'll just power up. And then I'm not going to really build anything here, so... or I can't yet, while I've still got veins there. Now I could just build over the veins as a foundation trick that you can do to bury the veins. I'm not at that stage where I think I've just got such limitless resources that I want to do that. But it is an option as well. I like that they've got different colors as well when they're mining. It's kind of a neat. Put one here, yep, and then the next one here. I feel like this could just be connected up as well. This trick. Yep, I do. I do like that it makes sure that you really want to do that with things that might hold a lot of stuff. Otherwise that could be, you know, a bit of a disaster if you delete a full logistics station. And stuff goes everywhere and you've got to clean it all up. Nightmare. And there's another one. Oh, we've got a drone trying to catch up. Here you go, buddy. How we doing? I think we're starting to get all our veins mined out. Here's another copper one, another kimberlite one. Cover everything, but we'll just do our best with that one. Same here. I think that will actually get supplied by something. Alright, how are we doing on veins? Sure, we've got everything. That got, yep, it does. A couple of in the polar region. Yeah, it's just those two polar region ones that we need to mine up, and then we're done. Twitching around the poles. Oh god, this is yeah, this is not fun. Let's do that. Good enough. Good enough for government work. Okay, so let's go to where we'd already built some stuff and just kind of continue to expand around this sort of area. And that'll be a kind of methodical approach rather than just going everywhere sort of thing. I like the idea of the methodical approach there. Actually, probably going to orbit to get there a little bit faster. There we go. All right. So as we were saying, we have a few things we want to build, and we're starting off with copper, and then we're going to silicon. So silicon is going to need 2 to the power of 1. So it's going to be rows of 30 for these, and then it will output 15 per rung that we do. Whereas these ones are a 1-to-1 basis. So on that basis, we're gonna start with copper, and then we'll use the next one. It's going to be the same pattern actually now I'm thinking it. Yeah, it is. Cool. Alright. So what I could do is try and reverse and make bigger use of this and just say, okay, you're also supplying copper. What I'm concerned about that, however, is that when this starts up, it is draining iron like beyond belief. Like it does huge amounts. So I think it's going to actually need its full logistics capacity to keep this going as much as possible. So that's why I don't really want to double up their usage. But also we have kind of this requirement or minimum spacing sort of thing as well. So we're going to waste a little bit of space doing that, but I'm okay with that. So I guess what I'm saying is I know I'm being a little bit wasteful, but it's okay because these things will be, they should be designed to work at their maximum capacity, or that's what I've got in my head. Whether or not that is actually their maximum capacity, I don't know. And the other thing to bear in mind is that these could still be upgraded to the double speed smelters as well. And if I do that, then it's going to definitely drain out a whole logistics station, especially when I get some more research. Speaking of research, now that we've got an excess of antimatter, we will be doing some white science very soon. It won't be right this second or today, but it is something definitely on the cards. I've been waiting for an excess to happen. But we'll start off with putting down these smelters and building out a rung pattern. Now the benefit here is that if you do it like that, that's going to be 30. So 15 is the maximum you can rung out. So I've learnt that, and it makes things a lot easier. We are going to be putting in our inputs from this side, and then we're going to take our outputs from out to there, and it'll go into this logistics station here. And we'll be making good use of the blueprinting tool. So set it up for copper. Run it down. Right. We'll set up our power as well, so we can just copy paste the power all the time. this. Do that. Use it now. I'm actually not going to save it. I was saving it last night, and I've realized that I actually don't want to do that, because ultimately I'm going to copy paste the whole thing, including logistic station settings and everything, later on. So we're going to do the same. I think I did 8 rungs on the other one, so we're going to try and do the same here. Just kind of want to make it sure it's all kind of neat if I can. How much is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we did 8 because that's all we could fit. Alright. And while that's building out from my drones, thank you happy little drones, we'll chuck in another logistics station here that will be supplying copper into the whole thing. Copper and warpers. So remote storage, drop you down to 100. And local demand it. Remote demand, local demand. I'll give you some of these because I know that you should be able to go get stuff on your own. Just give you some power. Oh, autosave. Some power. Maybe let you charge up a bit more. There we are. Yeah, it's already collecting local copper instead. Make sure those drains are just taking a good chunk of it when it's doing stuff. And then for later, give it some logistics vessels for when it needs to import it from other planets or other star systems. Excellent. Now from here we'll might as well plug in our outputs while we're standing at this sort of area. And I'm just gonna use the diagonal basis here. Make this as efficient as possible. No, don't need one there. Yep, here. Right, that'll supply everything. Run down here so my drones can finish their work. And we'll set up this one. So you're going to supply copper. You're also going to need some warpers to do this. You're not really going to do anything locally. Just put you to local storage. I will give you some logistics vessels to accomplish this task. And some power. Hook them up as well. And voila, we have a copper making facility. Oh, we don't quite have that power needs sorted though. Fix that up. Just where it gets a little bit closer to the bottom here, that becomes a problem. Alright, I think we're good. Excellent. Now, while we're around, this is kind of too close to really. Yeah, that's what I mean by taking advantage of the local power resources that I'm going to be setting up to supply our miners too. So that'll help this guy. You know, all the copper's going to go straight away. You know, let's get it up to 300% mining speed there as well, dude. You gotta supply the goods. Because we are certainly using a chunk of copper here. So you can imagine when it's coming into stellar distances, and some of it is as well, then it'll be these big chunks drop in, but then there's all this time in between for them to cover the gap. But that's one part done. So that's one kind of setting as well, or one pattern that we can then use this to produce a blueprint. So where we want more copper smelters, we can just copy paste the whole damn thing and plonk it down and just let it build. Now the next one I'm going to do and put in this little gap here is going to be silicon. So I could try and copy paste the whole thing, but then I'd need to reset the settings to be silicon. Wonder if that will be more efficient. Let's try it. Let's see how annoying that. Yeah, because I'll have to go drink all the time. Yeah, that's gonna be annoying. Yeah, we'll use a blueprint. All right, so we really want to try and do this as close as possible. So it's not this that's causing the problem; it's this. Don't want to really offset too much though. All right. Plonk it down there, and that'll be good. You, sir, are going to be a silicon output. We'll set you up now with all the good stuff. Go to production. Now, silicon ones are less productive because you've got an input of 2 for an output of 1. So we're only going to get 15 units per built, but we still need the same number of inputs anyway, because at this stage we don't have stackers or anything like that. So yeah, we'll start running this about here, I think, and we'll go 1. Oh, hang on. No, I did that wrong. I'm going to start from the top. So it should be about here. Yeah. Get a little bit closer. Yep. 1 and 2. Yeah, because this is going to cause a problem for inputs too. You can cross that bridge when I come to it, but where could this be? Because this is a pattern I want to be able to copy and paste, but I don't want it to take excess space if possible. Is this sort of distance? I think we might be alright. Alright, so our inputs are going to come from over here, so let's set that up. And then our outputs will go like so. Making silicon. I will also set up a crystal silicon smelting sort of operation, but we'll do so that we've got the these ones, but we'll use it using this advanced recipe, and then we'll go somewhere to mine it out rather than using high purity silicon to produce these things instead. Alright, it's got the right recipe. We just want to put down power. Now I might be a little bit more liberal with these now, just because I know that when we get closer to the poles, then it spreads them out and we don't get power to everything. That should be plenty. Then we use the good old copy paste. Use it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 8 total. Awkward positioning. Get it really close, maybe. Maybe down here. That could still work. It'll just be a kind of a less neat sort of pattern that I've had before. Yeah, that's fine. We need to exclude this from being copied into the blueprint too. Might just go a little bit closer to our thing so it produces it. There we are, thank you. Alright, you are going to demand silicon, sir. You might also need warpers. I say might, you will need warpers. Local demand, not remote supply. Remote demand. Local demand. Give you some logistics vessels. Oh yeah, we're going to need to go top up on those vessels. Yeah, we'll go back to home base to grab them. Make it 100% when you get it. Give you a little bit more charging. Not there. We'll start building this up. Right, so if I output like this down and across, I can probably make good use of these. There we go. Also give you power. I just connect power up to the whole thing. We are switching on. Come down to the other end. Double check the settings here. Yeah, that's right. And we have silicon production. Yay! And already that lifted off with some silicon from lots of things. So that's a good sign that where we have the demand, we are here to meet the supply. In fact, it is doing it, but it just can't keep up with the power requirements. This is just soup you up now. Give you all the power you need. Back to 100 megawatts now. Yeah, Yeah, so I imagine our power... Not a dent. Again, if everything switches on, that's the thing. Gotta predict. This guy's demanding all this silicon. It's got none. A lot of output to be going on. You see those gaps, it's like, yeah, it's not keeping up. Alright, so this is starting to make, you know, a bit more of a sort of what we envisaged, shall we say. More like the massive smelter factory we were thinking of. Now, the next kind of one that I'm thinking of doing is maybe the kimberlite, or get those diamonds happening. Yeah, let's do that. Because it doesn't really matter that we don't have interstellar, oh yeah, it does, because we won't be able to send it anywhere. That's alright, we can get it set up and come back with more supplies for those logistic stations. Now, what's the recipe? It is 1 will produce 2 every 1.5 seconds. That's gonna make my head think. My head think, or my head hurt. So 15 will produce 2 every 1.5 seconds. So I'm thinking that we need... How do we get this back to 30 a second? That's our maximum belt output, right? Let's look at it, the trusty calculator. So we would normally say 45 would be necessary if this is just outputting 1, because that's the ratio for our magnets, right? $45 divided by 1.5 equals 30, and then times 2 equals 60. So therefore, if we had 45 divided by 2 times 1.5, no, 45 divided by 2 is 22.5. So if we do 22, we will not have quite a full belt output. I think that's how it works. 15 ain't gonna produce 30 a second. Yeah, alright. We'll go with 22 rather than 23. We'll just leave it a little bit hungry, so to speak. It might fit in well with the pattern here. Let's see. We will shortly find out. Alright, so you're gonna be my output. Come on, there we go. There's my output station. You're going to be supplying diamonds. Yep, there we are. Local demand, remote storage. And then we've got to be careful here. The last mistake we made was by putting this right up at the equator, right? Or an equatorial boundary or tropics boundary, and that meant that my blueprint wasn't copying down. It was real freaking frustrating. So instead of that, this still produced 8, right? But we want to be as space conservative as possible, so we might just put it here instead. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, so full thing is 15, and then to get to 22, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's going to be our pattern for diamonds, so we're going to bring it in from the right and output from the left again. Oh, no, wrong one. Special diamond recipe. We're going to do the same thing with power, as we were doing before, where we just make sure that it's going to be sufficient for our needs as we drag it down into more expansive areas. And we'll use a good old copy paste. Use now. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hello, autosave. Nice to meet you. Ooh, that's close. Very close. Maybe too close. I think I can sneak everything in. And then we'll chuck an interstellar here. Power. That's the other thing. If this is not already powered, we can tell it to be powered. You've got the power. Alright, and it's gonna want kimberlite or wherever that is here. Local demand, remote demand. Give it some things to go collect those. I want some warpers. Look at them all go. Zoom, 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 zoom. Make sure you're getting 100% loads, guys. Local demand, remote storage. Run low on materials. Oh, in fact, yeah, we don't have enough sorters to complete this project now. That's alright. I thought that might happen. But we're gonna eventually run out of something. Okay. Making them diamonds. Cool. Alright, that's one part of the equation done. Now we need outputs. This is the close bit that I was a little bit worried about, but I think we can do it like that. Hey, should be like that, it should be like that, yep. And in, cool. And then across like here. And the rest of it should be all just pretty stock standard inputs. Like a glove. Wonderful. Yep, something's demanding it. Saying, you got diamonds? I could use some diamonds. Oh, me. How are we doing on time? It's been an hour so far. It's a good session already. Alright. Yeah, looking a bit more industrial. I'm happy with this progress. Happy with these sort of layouts that we're producing, creating. So far we have places to smelt iron, magnets, copper, silicon, and diamonds. What's remaining is we want to do titanium, we want to do stone bricks, we want to do glass, and we want to do crystal silicon. Everything else can be built, goes into a factory. So if we want to produce prisms, we send glass to produce prisms to a factory somewhere. And then once we've got the patterns for all those other things, so this, and this, that's where we will basically be exporting these products and we will be doing a bit of copy pasting. The other thing is, I'm thinking energetic graphite might be something else we start smelting up here. I'm not sure. The other thing that I haven't been doing is proliferating materials before export too, which is maybe something I should be doing. I don't know, there's not much coal on this planet and that very quickly disappear. If I turned it into spray painting materials, so... I don't know, I'm not sure. Let me know what you think. If you have thoughts about this, let me know what you think. The other thing that we could do is smelt steel here. Because that is a smelting process. So we could build up a local steel production sort of thing. Where it goes from one smelter, transports across the iron bars and produces steel as well. That would be massive steel production. Yeah, just sitting here thinking about that. Alright, well, either way, we're going to need more resources to continue on what we're doing here. I'm thinking about a lunch break. It's local time 1 o'clock, as you can see down the bottom right here. And I'm getting a bit pecky. We had a bit of a gym session this morning. And, that burns up some sugar in the bloods. Burns up some calories. Just checking out Dyson Sphere, admiring my own handiwork. Yeah, okay, so the patchwork is starting to get there. I think our rockets are almost... Yeah, we're just filling in gaps now. Is the whole thing... I think we've built our frame. We just gotta fill in the solar sails. I don't think it's finished. I don't think the frame is finished. I'm not 100% happy with this. I think the framework down the bottom needs a little bit more expansion because we're not getting that coverage here. So there should be points where it overlaps and points where it doesn't. Like here, that's about right, but then we've got the gap on the other side. It's quite big. Yeah, and we've got these points. That's alright, so we need to build up the frame a little bit more there. But we're probably storing up rockets beyond belief as well. So yeah, let's maybe do a little bit of designing before we break for lunch. But that's exciting. We've nearly constructed our first Dyson sphere, at which point we can move on to our second. Yeah, that's right, we ain't stopping here. No siree. We'll cover the entire place in Dyson spheres. Slow down a little. Yeah, there we are. There's Earth. Earth has bad frame rates. But yeah, we gotta shoot solar sails more into the orbit. But what are we missing? We're missing sorters. Let's expand out how many we actually build. We're gonna be low on belts very soon. I just had something weird. All right. We need more of these smelters if we're continuing to produce these big smelting sort of factories. What have we run out of? Logistics vessels. Let's ramp up how much we keep in storage as well. I need another 2 to fill out that extra 8, so that'll make it even. Let's probably upgrade these factories as well. I'm going to be relying on them a bit more. We'll grab another stack of power poles. Logistics drones will be necessary too. Let's top it up to max level 2. I think that's what I need to continue on that project later on. But let's see how we're going on our rocket storage. Still shooting rockets. Hang on. Yeah, we're still low on quantum chips. I think that's our chip shortage. Doing that to us, maybe? Let's have a look. No, it's planar filters. Oh, titanium glass. We are out of titanium! Titanium production has stalled. Yeah. Well, it's Forge World that's producing that at the moment. But clearly, there's a demand problem. So it's either going to be on the logistics front, or it's going to be at the Forge World itself that's not producing enough. So if I give some of these, yeah, it's going to be at the Forge World itself. We're just going to go back to remote storage here. Okay, that's good to know. Our smelting world will actually solve that. That's why we're not getting enough titanium in to really keep this factory, to keep this party going. We're using so much of it. And we're not keeping these guys running. What else do you need? Planet fault. Yeah, so you're running, but most of you are not. This planet filter factory ain't doing much. Alright. We can deal with that. There's always another thing. Makes me kind of tempted to go to my Forge World and fix that up, or maybe I'll just ignore my forge world. Build up the smelter world instead. Could just be a supply issue that, yeah, let's go there. It might just be a case of putting down some advanced miners, so I feel like that's maybe an easy fix. Let's get into orbit, and we can do a bit of a flyby or fly through of our Dyson sphere while we're on it. Where's the blue line? Straight ahead. Yeah. So instead of warping there, we'll actually fly there. And, you know, just maintain the realism. I might actually just dodge in through the gap here. Nice. Oh no! You giant bar! Oof. Okay. How you doing, guys? You're producing it for all you're worth. Being supplied. These are starting to run out, so this one's running out. Alright. What I can do is tell this to local demand. Storage. And that way we can just get it to go output of raw titanium. Go up a level. Across here. Down a level. And input there. Right, so now it's got a demand function here. We can just go find a titanium vein. Wherever we have one, here's one. And chuck down advanced miners on them. And then the logistics function will take care of the rest. Supplying anything? Not yet. It will eventually. I might just map out all our titanium first as well. I think we've actually lining up most of it. Looks things, yeah, there's a few veins. This should help with our supply issues, but really our biggest concern will be actually just building up a better smelter world or smelting environment for it. We are demanding heaps of titanium now as well, so what's probably happened is that these boxes eventually ran out of titanium, and as a result, you know, we no longer had that excess feeding into the system. But it looks like that's certainly helping with our supply issues. that's good. Seeing less ships take off just by fixing up that input here. All right. Yeah, so let's go to the Dyson Sphere design again. I'm still not happy with this top bit. I think we need to do something with it. So let's go get rid of all layers in editor and just a top layer in editor. And think about it, because it just looks too umbrella-ish, right? I like the shield sort of thing down here, and then I think these little chunky bits will work. So what I might try and do is make it a bit more curvature here, and then put in those chunky bits every so often. So for that, we're going to need a curving thing. We're going to let it just kind of play out in real time as well. And then we might do here, here, and then here. Evenish, I think so. Yeah, it's still gonna look a little bit weird, but I can't do chunky bits now. I've missed my chunks. Or can I? I just make them bigger chunky bits. Like this. I don't like that. That's uneven, but yeah, we can do some chunks with this. Like so. That's right, yep. Or it would be uneven chunks, or not all chunks will be the same. That's okay. I can be happy with that, in fact. I think that needs to be there. Autosave. Complain about the autosave a lot, but if I didn't have it and things went bad, I would be an unhappy man. So let's all thank autosave for a second. Thank you, autosave. You save our game sometimes from disappearing into no longer having our game, and saving us from having to redo hours of work. Excellent. Alright, let's have a look at our bottom section here. So, yeah, we might go this one. I might actually pause it now. And then see if I can do this, right? Just run a circular those frames can be extra chunks. Cool. Alright, that's a start. Now we do need to fill in the rest of the frame down the bottom though. So, again, we want, I think, sort of circular things happening here. Yeah, this is not a great design. Just gonna put it out there if anyone's thinking it. I know, we'll do better on the next Dyson Sphere. This is, our first one. And I was maybe ambitious in terms of its ultimate design when I haven't really done much Dyson Sphere designing yet. But we'll fill in these gaps as well. There we go, and then we just need this bit filled in. But we'll do it later. We've still got rockets to be launching out, so we'll fill in that last bit of the design process for this particular Dyson Sphere, but yeah, it's gonna look like that basically. And then the fill-in bit here, we'll have that outer shell rotating one direction, the inner shell rotating another. How are we doing on? Yeah, it's 90% satisfaction, so it can definitely build up some more power for us. Whoa, it's a bit close. And we'll do a different design at our next Dyson Sphere. I think the input here could be a lot faster. There we go, guys. Might have been building with green belts or something, or just T1 belts even. So, even the frame rates on this planet are starting to take a hit too. So, you guys are all operating at full capacity from the looks of things. Yeah, this mine is maybe slowing down a bit. Be aware of. Now we go into our system view, we should see a chunk of rockets. Yeah, look at them all. We had pre-loaded rocket launchers. All going out to continue to build that frame. And then obviously our Dyson Swarm. Our mag rails are just struggling to keep up really with the frame that's been built. This top umbrella will be less umbrella-ish, which I think I'll be very happy about. And then this bottom one will be, yeah, that'll be starting to fill in as well. And it'll start making, the whole design should start making a lot more sense. And then once we've got it fully filled in, we'll also have the 2 Dyson swarms going around it, which will add, I think, the detail to make it look good. I think without that interior and exterior Dyson swarm that I've got, so there should be one coming in here, and then as you can see where the mag rails are ending up in the middle there, we should also have this interior swarm. Without that sort of detail behind it, I think it would have just looked weird, as opposed to the ultimate design once we have solar sails running around the place still, rather than all being co-opted to fill in the things. Then it'll start making sense, right? We'll have a good kind of layout. And then once it's done, of course, we'll be sending these rockets elsewhere. We will be sending those rockets into another solar system. Another system. I'm wondering if that system should be Smelter. My other thought here, I think, though, was going to be... I think it was Straya. Straya? Were you my... Yeah, because we have Tide Lock in Straya. And immediately that can start producing a lot of power just because it has that tidal locking one side facing the planet. And as a result, you know, we can beam power directly. That can just be power production as opposed to necessarily antimatter production. Or photon production, rather. And yeah, this will be, it's a good luminosity, I think. Where's our luminosity? Spectral class. Maybe that's all of, luminosity 1.3. We could target something with a higher luminosity. What have we got? So this has got 1.6. The B-type star. Yeah, so we might be going with a blue giant instead. That's got our biggest luminosity, I think. Blue giant, maybe? What about the black hole? Has low luminosity, of course. Yeah, maybe it's Stonovan. That's just a fractionation planet at the moment, but maybe it is... Maybe it needs to be more than that. Stonovan, you may have a purpose. Or the O-type star is 2 versus what was Stonovan? 8. Oh yeah, okay, so we have a local O-type. Do we have a local? A local-ish? I thought that said Arrakis for a second. It's like, we need to mine spice! Alright, so O-types might be the way to go. Volcanic ash sort of thing. Sulfuric acid, that's nice. We do need another acid supplier at some point. Yeah, we could build like a really tight, tiny Dyson sphere. Because I'm kind of curious to know whether or not the size of the Dyson sphere will actually mean more power. Really, there should be a finite amount of power that you can get from any tiny star based on its luminosity, no matter how big big or small your sphere is. Yeah, alright, so let's pin it, right? So I want that constantly being shown. I've got you pinned. I don't know why you're pinned actually. Maybe I was thinking it was just there. Maybe it's just where I've got it. View. Yeah. No? Alright. Let's get unpinned. Alright. Ulricus. Ulricus. It's gotta be Arrakis. I don't know if I'm infringing copyright there. Maybe. Depends how long Frank Herbert's been hit the dust for. But, yeah. Hey, hang on. Maybe they're just preventing me from doing it. O-type star. Ah, I renamed the planet. Well, the planet, of course, I can't name. Do we have a desert one here? What's a Gobi? Ashen, soil, ice field, lava, volcanic ash. I'm gonna go there. If this, we're gonna end our episode by going there. But if this is a desert type planet, I don't know what Gobi type planet is, but it'll be interesting to find out. If it is though, then that is course needs to be called June. A system can be called Arrakis rather than planet. It's a very long system name there. Camelopardalis. Camel. We're gonna rename you to Camel at some point, mate. Oh, it's a long way out. We will be spending some power to send logistic vessels there. Hey, come back. Got there and it just started running away from me. Alright. This is, I'm not sure if it's a desert or if it's like a moon. Kind of bumpy and ugly. Low wind. Oh no. Bit of solar. Look, you're looking Junie enough for me. Maybe not quite a desert, but you have deserty parts. Ah! Caps lock is on. Let's go back to the system view. There we are, yep. There we are, that's better. Plenty of resource. What? 43 million? Jeepers! That's a lot of iron and copper on that place. Yeah, there's good resources in this system. Very good resources. Like, amounts, I mean. Okay, but I think this is where we're going to end this stream. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I've enjoyed continuing to build our super smelter. It's been fun. I'm just gonna, check out the ground here as well, as you do. But if you did enjoy this stream, drop me a follow if you want to see some more. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. My name is Pooks. Thanks for watching, and catch you later.